Today is just a little bit different. We coming with a different type of energy because I need to talk about how your name will be remembered for all eternity. I want to talk about how I was reading the story of Nehemiah in the Bible. When I opened up my Bible, it went directly to Nehemiah. And I have to be real with y'all. I hadn't read Nehemiah in such a long time. And I started to get frustrated, not with the story itself, but I got frustrated with reading the names in the story. And I got so frustrated because the names are not something that I particularly can pronounce, especially when my East Coast accent like goes there. And there were so many names that Nehemiah was documenting that I was just like, why do I need to read all these names? What is the point of all this? And I had to ask God for patience because I was just like, I can't do this, right? Tap in. So as I asked God for patience, I got this download and I got the energy of saying, the reason why it's imperative that you read these names right now is because these are the names, these are the people, this is the history, this is the legacy that went back and built the walls of Jerusalem when they were torn down, when they were broken, when they were desolate, when they were destitute, right? And I found myself becoming more honored reading these names because of how of the significant work that they did. And I started to fall in love with the story of Nehemiah. I started to understand just how profound it is. And it gave me this beautiful channel message that I wanted to come and share with you today. Hi, Joe. Thank you so much. And this beautiful message is surrounded by your work, what will be documented in the history books about you, what people are saying about you, what the combat against you is, the opposition against you is, and what it looks like to protect yourself in a phase of building where you are focused on so many other things that you really don't even want to kind of tap into dealing with the opposition, although they are there. So I want you guys to tap in collective, because this channel message is for you. This channel message is to pour into you and for you to understand that your names will ring throughout all of the history books, that you will be documented, and it will go down in the books of heavens. It will go down in whatever they write down in hell is going to go down. And you will find out very quickly that your legacy will be cemented on whether or not you were doing work for God or whether or not you fell into the pit of hell. Tap in. And that's what they don't want us to understand, chosen ones. They do not want us to understand that you are powerful, that your name holds weight, that it rings throughout the spiritual realms, and that God has sent you here on the ultimate mission to contribute to the collective consciousness, to spread the word, to walk in your purpose, and to assist others walking through their journeys as well. And the enemy does not want you to understand just how powerful you are. The enemy does not want you to understand just how much you can build, how much you have built, and what the future holds for you. Tap in. So I want to start out. I got a few notes here, but I want to start out with the documentation part. If you're not familiar with the story of Nehemiah, Nehemiah got word that the walls of Jerusalem were down. He asked permission of the king to go to Jerusalem to rebuild. And when he got there, he asked the community to help him rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Cool. As he was rebuilding, he got so much opposition from kings all over. Thank you. From kings that were looking at him and telling him like, oh no, you're not going to, first of all, you're not going to succeed at building the wall. It's ridiculous that you even want to come back here and build something that was destroyed. And what are you even doing this for anyway? And it got to the point where the threats were coming in to Nehemiah, right? Tap in. The threats were coming in to the point where Nehemiah had to tell the community, you will build with your right hand and you will hold your sword in the left hand. I want you to keep that in your mind, okay? Nehemiah told his congregation, his community, those that he documented very clearly in this book, saying, you will build with your right hand and you will protect and hold your sword in the left, because the threat of the enemy is real and they will try to come for you. We will protect the women and the children. We will protect these walls and we will continue to build. And I need you to sit with this, chosen ones. I need you to sit with this divine collective, because think about all of the times you started to build your community. Think about all the times you had to repair parts of your life. And it took so much work, so much effort, so much time, so much energy, so many tears, so many broken nails, so many splinters, you rebuilding your life. Think about all of the times where you didn't have enough resources and you had to wait for more. Think about all the times you went from paycheck to paycheck, waiting to get more gas in your car so you could do this thing and that thing. Think about all the times you were waiting for answers and callbacks and nobody ever returned your call, so you had to go do it yourself. I want you to think about all the times you put in the effort to rebuild your life. All the while you got people standing on the sideline. All this while you got people standing over there, over here, telling you that there's no purpose for you to rebuild, threatening you, saying if you continue to rebuild, we will make your life a living hell. Tap in. Think about all of the times, tap in, that you had to ask God for help to rebuild your life. Tap in. And I love this story about Nehemiah, because he not only was meant to lead the people, which he eventually did, but what he did is that he was in the mud building with his people. And I feel like that's like the story of the chosen ones, right? That's the story of the divine feminines, divine masculine, and the anointed. That oftentimes when you are building just not just for you, but you're building for your family, you're building for your future, you're building for the purpose of comfortable survival. Tap in. And there are so many times there have been, I mean, can you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5? How many ops did you encounter that threatened your livelihood, threatened your sanity, threatened your money, threatened your mindset, tried to put little nuggets in your head that you were not worth it, tried to tell you that you were never going to complete what you were building, told you that you was going to be nothing. Yet you stood there and you built your empire, still building your empire. Tap in. Thinking that one day you was going to make it. Thinking one day that you had only one part. Sorry, my husband calling. Thinking that you got one part built, only to look down the rest of the line and you like, oh my gosh, I got so much more to build. Like, really think about that. So as I'm reading Nehemiah and I'm looking at all of these names that are being written in this book, I'm like, why is he telling me all this? Do I care about these people? The answer is yes. Yes. There's a reason why Nehemiah felt the need to document every single person that picked up a nail, that picked up a hammer and built, while also yielding a sword to protect what was being built at the same time. How many of my chosen ones, how many of my anointed ones, how many of my divine ones have built and protected at the same time? You know how mentally hard that is? You know how physically exhausting that is? Can you imagine? It's not just you that's being protected, but it's your family, it's your friends, it's those that you are covering. Even when you only have this amount of energy left to cover, it is absolutely exhausting. But when you are walking, tapping in, thank you, but when you are walking in the divine purpose that God has given you, you don't have a choice but to build. You don't get to sit down and relax. Not when it's time to build what God gave you. Not when it's time to repair the life that you need, that you shall have. that you desire, that you want. Now, when it comes to spiritual protection, you can't. You can't rest. You have to find, sometimes there is no middle ground. Sometimes you have to work more than you rest. Sometimes you have to fight more on days where you should be sitting at the computer. Some days you have to fight more. There is never, ever a time where you just like during this building phase, you just like, cool, I'm going to chill out. You always rest after the fact, don't you? You start noticing all the creaks in your knees, and you start noticing that your feet hurt on this side, and you can't really turn your neck that way. You need a massage therapist. Tap in. It's very interesting, this story of Nehemiah, because he uses the documentation of names as what theologians call sacred testimony. And imagine, I think what Nehemiah was 445 BC, if I'm not mistaken. So we're talking a long time ago. And till this day, we still reading not just the names, but the legacy that was left behind. And that's why I said your name is going to be remembered. Thank you. My husband bought these for me. Your name is going to be remembered. Your name is being documented, not just here on earth, but it's being documented in all of the spiritual realms. You think people don't know who you are? You think people not looking at your body of work? I've always said, look at the body of work. Do you have a few mistakes here and there in life? Did you have like a big mess up there, but you've been doing really well? Or are you somebody that continuously wants to cause destruction and harm no matter where you go? That's really the difference. People, the enemy wants to hang you, wants you to ruminate on mistakes that you've made in the past, not understanding that you build it over here. That what's being documented about you is way past what any enemy could understand, because they know their names is going to the ninth gates of hell. Tap in. See, when the enemy reads your name, it's going to be because you built something incredibly sacred. When the enemy reads your name, it's going to be because you actually made the difference to improve the world, not to cause destruction. See, when the enemy sees you building with your right hand and your sword on the left, can we talk about the sword real quick? Can we really get down to the sword? Because, girl, the sword is such a powerful tool. It is a powerful weapon. It means so much. Oh my gosh, I hope this thing works. Here we go. Okay. When you have a sword in your hand, the sword is very much a symbol of war, of judgment, of execution, of finishing. Okay? Think about how heavy a sword is. Think about all the times you've ever seen on TV a medieval fight or a medieval story where you have a young boy, a young king, a young prince being trained with the sword, and he got to pick it up like this, and it falls to the other side, and you got to pick it up on this side, and it falls to this side, and the trainers, the weapons masters, the king is having to test him with something that is so heavy that if you walked around with a sword for 2 minutes right now, girl, your whole arm gonna feel like it's about to fall off. The sword is it's a reason why swords have been so sacred when we talk about spiritual warfare. When we talk about protection, when we talk about putting the line in the sand, when you watch it, any of them, boom, they drop that sword, it goes across the sand beautifully. It almost digs a trench in the sand. Imagine having to build a wall, build your protection, build this layer of your life again, while having to hold a sword in your left hand. So what you got the nail in your mouth like this, trying to hold it, and then you got to hold it on this way, and then try to hand it. Girl, it's a lot. And that's why when I look at Nehemiah documenting all of these names in the book, I'm like, you know what? You absolutely correct, Nehemiah. Document those names because, oh my gosh, this is the story of the chosen ones. This is the story of the divines. This is the story of the anointed. You got to build with one hand and protect with the others because you got these fools out here ready to slang on you, ready to roll down on you, laughing at you, telling you that your purpose is for naught. Excuse me? So I love that your name is being written. That's why they say the pen is mightier than the what? Tap in. Oh, no, I don't think y'all ready for this. Thank you, mamas. I don't think y'all ready for this. What they say the pen is mightier than the sword. So we got to think, if the sword is representing war, judgment, power to execute, if it's representing boundary drawing, if it's representing thinking, hey, money, if it's representing all of those things, what does the pen do? Tap in. So when we got somebody in the history books, literally writing out the names of the people that were working on behalf of God, that is next level. That is next level. I want y'all to know right now that you got the enemy out here writing in a book right now talking about, okay, so the pen is mightier than the sword. Okay, let me tell you something. Friend. See now. Let me tell you something. Let me get my back straight. What they think they are writing yields no power against the truth. Tap in. What they think they are writing against you, they're trying to erase your good name out of the history books of God, trying to erase your good name out of the spiritual realm, thinking that they're doing something, thinking that they're going to twist it up a little bit. What they think they're doing is for naught. Because how in the world is your raggedy behind Dollar Tree pen going to ever go against the pen for God? Tap in. Thank you. Somebody said, go, girl. I'm going. I'm going to this God. How does that work? These people wake up every day to try to cut you with a little schmenium knife, not understanding that you carrying the sword of God. Oh my gosh, what? The enemy wakes up every day trying to figure out how it's going to slither through your power, how it's going to slither through your purpose. The fork-tongued snakes that think that they could obscure the documentation of your name is absolutely a fool. A fool. That's why when I was reading this book, when I was reading Nehemiah, and I was like, oh my gosh, all these names, I can't pronounce these names. I don't know where any of these places are. Google is not helping me find these locations. I can't drive here. Where's the cruise ship going? I'm over here really trying to make my brain work. And I said, nah, Cass, you got to read these names because they are documented for a reason. Look at the work that they did. And then when we look at the opposition, when we look at people that yielded power in this community, the kings, the queens, the court gestures, all of these people on the outside that could actually write some stuff into law, when we see them being the opposition of God's children, what happened to them at the end? What happened when Nehemiah became the governor? He laughed in your face. His mission was accomplished. People loved him. He did not take advantage of the people, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Because when your divine purpose comes under scrutiny, it's going to look crazy to you. The enemy will pick out of the sky a dumb reason to fight with you. The enemy is going to pick out of the sky a stupid reason to have a beef with you. Meanwhile, you over here trying to build. And now you got beef at your front door because the enemy does not understand the purpose of God. The enemy, let me take that back. The enemy does not understand how God is working through you for your purpose to build with God. Tap in. Build with God. Yes. Yes, you are a co-creator. Hey, Jay. You are a co-creator. That's why God wants you to come to him in prayer. Tap in. I am a big stickler about prayer. That's why I have a whole course called Prayer Alchemy. It is my baby. It is such a wonderful course. It is I think I'm at 8 episodes now. It is a living, breathing document of how to use prayer as your spiritual legislation. So when you have a bunch of, this name just came to my brain. When you got a bunch of Tyrones who want to live up off of your energy, come to you, and now they praying against your downfall. Let me tell you something. In the court of God, you got the defendants, excuse me. You got the defendants and you got the plaintiffs. You always the plaintiff. You always putting in that spiritual legislation. You always putting in that work. You always going to the judge. You always going to God and saying, hey, this is what I am requiring to do your work here on earth. And now you got these fools always trying to put some energy out into the universe. And then wondering why the universe is coming and pushing them back in the forehead, because you can't go to God with the lie. You can't go to God with the BS. You can't go to God with the witchcraft. You can't go to God with the black magic. So of course it's getting intercepted. Of course it's going out there to the ethos. Your bad energy got met with bad energy. You thought that bad energy was going to come to me when in all actuality, I went to the head honcho because we have established a relationship. Because my name is being written in those books. Because divine is being written in those books. And your name is in the book as the op against God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being an op against God? Like, yo, that is wild. Yet, you have people out here that fight against you every day, wanting to see you fail, wanting to see you suffer, wanting to see you regress, wanting to see you dim your light, wanting to see you fight, wanting to see you cry, wanting to see you just not make nothing happen. And they will go to great lengths to see it not happen for you. And the part that they always miss, the part that the enemy always misses against the chosen ones, the anointed, the divine feminines and divine masculines, the part that they always miss is that you are of God and they are of the devil. Ooh, They can't rock with you. They can't rock with you. You know what? I was thinking of a song earlier, okay, and I had to listen. When I was reviewing Nehemiah's story, and I was looking at him building the wall and telling the men of the community to build with the right hand and hold your sword in the left hand, I was really thinking about Biggie Small's song, Was Beef. Biggie Small, can we listen. Biggie Small says beef is when your mom can't walk down the street. Beef is when you got to go to sleep with two dates. Beef is when I see you in the ICU. And you got to understand that Nehemiah was ready to go to war. Nehemiah was ready for that beef. Because what's beef when it comes to the work of God? It's people that will lay their life on the line for a king. So who gonna lay their life on the line to represent God and make sure the work gets done? Tap in. I had posted on my community tab yesterday the second part of no weapon formed against you shall prosper and what it really means and understanding that journey. Because everybody want to use that as a tool. Oh, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Oh, nothing should be able to touch me. No, what happened beforehand? Why did God have to come back and say no weapon formed against you shall prosper? It's because the people walked away from God. And God was letting them know, hey, if that's what you want to do, watch what happened to you. If that's what you want to do, cool. And now they over here, oh my God, my head's falling out. We don't have any rice to eat. All the women are barren. The men ain't here. Oh my God, God, come back, come help us. And God was like, I've been here. Y'all left. Okay? This door been open. We've been chilling. Okay? Cracking open some zero Cokes. Okay? Drinking from this beautiful spring that we got up here. You know what I'm saying? And when they came back, when Zion came back, okay, the women became what? Fruitful. They multiplied. That's what it means to build in your God purpose. You become fruitful and you multiply. For real. Reading the story of Nehemiah and recognizing that the people that were there in that moment, who could have walked away, who could have cried when they got cuts on their hands, who could have cried when their nails and their fingers didn't grow back, when they didn't have enough to eat, when they were cold at night, when it rained and the fires didn't stay lit because they didn't have enough. When the king was sending over little tricksters to disrupt them, being petty, stealing their food that they did have, messing with the kids, letting the animals loose on them. At any given time, anybody could have walked away, and nobody did because Nehemiah didn't say they did. Nehemiah documented the names of every single person. And you know what's crazy? I had to remember that location is very important when we're talking about documentation, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, I don't care where these people is from, but no, that's not true. Because how you represent your clique and don't nobody know where you coming from. Tap in. Tap in. We're going to say Cass Young living on the West Coast by way of the Young family through North Carolina. Okay, so you won't know how to track my lineage. Where you from? Where you tapping in from? I don't even think I have my chat up to see what y'all talking. My chat froze, y'all. So please forgive me if I'm not responding to you right now. I will get to it. I promise you I will. But that's the importance of the sacred documentation. That we could go back and we can look at what you have done. We can look at how you represented your clique. That's what it means. That's why it's so important to understand who you rolling with. That's why it's so important to understand who you representing with. Because to be real with you, friend, when you rocking with the wrong crew, to be real with you, friend, when you out here doing the wrong things, when you out here, I already know. See, y'all be thinking I don't be knowing. These names that's coming in this chat right now, thinking that they doing something, I know who they are. I know who they are. I've seen them before. Isn't that crazy? How the enemies, they ain't got no new tricks. And that's how they gonna be documented in the books. As losers, as false people, as haters, people who disrespected God's children. Ain't that wild? Didn't I say that earlier? Didn't I literally say that earlier? Tap in. I love when the examples come through because it shows you in real time. It shows you in real time. They cannot help but to expose themselves. That's why God said, build with one hand and protect with the other. For real. And I really appreciated this story, the depth of this story, but I'm not done. Because in the end, let me tell you what you do with your God-given purpose. And this leads me to a very hard conversation that I've been having with my sister lately. And I want you to tap in with me and give me your experience. Okay. And I want you to be real with me because this helps me serve you better as well. So Nehemiah ended up becoming governor, right? And the governor of that time was privy, or even today, was privy to a certain amount of benefits, right? Including food and wine and guests and where they slept and what they had access to, right? And the people loved Nehemiah as a governor because he did not exploit the people. He did not take more than what was necessary. And people prospered underneath him. Tap in. People, the community prospered under Nehemiah. Tap in. Because he did not exploit the people that helped him build, that understood the grind. He did not turn their backs on them. Tap in. Think about that. So in your experience, it's 14 people in here. It's probably 3 hate watchers, but that's okay. In your experience, tap in and tell me in the comments, have you ever been in a situation where a spiritual leader has taken advantage of you or your congregation or the people that you surrounded yourself with? And if so, how did that make you feel? So let me ask the question again, and let me preface the question. Nehemiah became governor and had a wealth of benefits in front of him. And the community prospered because he did not take advantage of the community. And I believe that speaks value. That's why his name is so important. Because it was leadership without exploitation. And I know for a fact that many of you come from backgrounds where you have been spiritually exploited. Right here on this app, people have spiritually exploited you, introducing you to witch concepts, introducing you to the idea of removing free will. Like, this is so real. And I'm not even a big fan. I can't stand somebody that spiritually exploits people. I can't stand it. I have a video on here that talks about watch out for fake spiritualists. And I outline how to protect yourself. Tap in. So when you see everything, God will always see everything. And you're right. It's very interesting how you put that. And I'm looking at your screen name, but the comment for my podcast, the comment is they all get sick from their evil deeds, man. I already know where you from. They all get sick from their evil deeds. And they do. But the thing is that they believe that getting sick means you're coughing and you have a high fever. No, they actually become mentally insane. You see them, they keep rehashing the same thing over and over again. They can't take a L. They look stupid, still bringing up the same thing over and over again. They want to find a way to blame you. They want to find a way to blame them. They want to find a way to blame God. They want to find a way to blame everything except for their misdeeds and their coalition with the devil. Tap in. They over here skipping hand in hand with witchcraft and the devil on some Aleister Crowley stuff. They out here sacrificing all types of things in your name, sacredly documenting that they are willing to work with the demonic spirits to go against the child of God. And they don't think that's sick. They don't think that's sick. They think that's normal. They think that's okay. They think that's cool. They don't even realize they exploiting themselves into delirium, into delusion. Because you got to be delusional to think that the more you go into the dark arts, the more you think you're going to defeat a child of God. Like, girl, what? With give me the meme of all the numbers floating around the head because we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure it out. You gotta honor the good-hearted folks with uplifting, heartfelt intentions. And let me tell you something. The road to what they say, the road to HE double hockey sticks is paved with good intentions. And sometimes people who are evil will have a moment of good intentions. And they think that wipes away everything. That's like eating a dozen chocolate chip cookies 2:00 in the morning, then saying I'm going to drink this water and that's going to balance out what I just ate that was not good. Tap in. We're not falling for it. We are not falling for it. When 1,000 years from now, 1,000 years from now, when whatever civilization is digging up the computer archives and pulling up YouTube and looking at all these pants, because I saw the word pants. That it. And look at that. And you know what? That name looks so familiar. Oh my God, I know who that is. Ooh, that's the devil. Ooh, wee. Oh, y'all. Okay, let me say it. Oh my gosh. So when they pull up all of the archives off of YouTube, when they look at all these videos, guess what? The documentation of who was disgusting, like these people that just commented in my chat, the people that just commented in my chat, they are deviants, legitimate deviants that hurt people under the age of 18. Oh, history don't like that. When they unearth the archives of this app right here, they're going to look at all of the comments. They're going to look at all the IP address. They're going to connect everything. And it's going to be seen that either you were here to work on behalf of God and your purpose, or shoot, some people be here working on behalf of God, behalf of the devil, for the purpose of the devil. Tap in. The last point that I want to talk about, y'all. Listen, when that golden talk gets spoken, the low vibe comes. And that is so true. And I've been noticing, the more I build, it's so crazy. We were talking about Nehemiah. The more I build, the more I feel like I have to go deeper into my spiritual protections and my rituals. Look, the more they come, they can't help but to expose themselves, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't even trip. Don't even trip when they arrive, because you can see them. They can't help but to open up their all eyes and be like, okay, that's the one with the light. Get them. They be tripping over themselves, fighting over themselves. I swear. I want y'all to use this as a straight example in your everyday life. That as you start building your community, as you start using your voice, as you start giving your God-given talents, here comes the hateration. And not like, oh, you ain't wearing the latest fashions. Okay, not them haters. No. We talking about people that truly embody the definition of hate. We talking about people who embody wickedness so deep that they can be 20 years old looking 50 years old. You talking about people when you look into their eyes, all you see is black. There is no light bouncing around. They can't even fix their mouth correctly to speak your name because it carries so much spiritual weight. So they got to call you that bitch. They got to call you that bitch a bad word. They got to say that you ain't nothing. They got to say that you ain't never going to amount to anything. They got to call you everything but your name, because if they call you your name, which is documented in the spiritual realm as somebody doing the work of the Lord, their tongue's going to fall out. Let it be known that when they speak your name, let it smell like rotten fish coming out their mouth, because they know they straight up liars. Knowing they don't have a right to hold your powerful name in their mouths. Let their teeth fall out. That's how divine you are. So let them come up in here. Let them waste their time coming up in this chat. It don't do nothing to me. But I want the divine ones to understand that when we start to do the work, when we start to build this wall, we understand that there is a connectedness between us. And we building this wall, and our names are being documented by the likes of Nehemiah, who took on a mission to cross cities, states, getting safe passage from other kings and queens and noblemen, getting tools and resources to build in a place that was not his home. Tap in. When your name is being documented, it is being written by the smoothest pen on the most high quality paper. It is being written in gold. It is being stamped and sealed by the Most High. Yes, the haters are going to stand on the other side and tell you you shouldn't build, and they will send their wolves. They will send their monkeys. They will send their snakes. They will send all the lies. They will send the fake. They will send those that stench. They're going to send them. All the while you're building and honoring your purpose. And at the end, you win. It's all for naught. And I just want to keep coming here and telling you and motivating you to stay the course. Don't be scared. Don't waver. Even when you are building in unknown territories, do not waver. Even when you think you don't have all of the tools, do not waver. All they want to do is knock you over. My sister in the chat right now, she would tell you it been so many times I was just like, you know what? I'm done with this channel. I'm done. I quit. I got 3 channels. First channel left because of demons. Second channel, demons attacked it. Attacked the crap out of that channel. My sister tell you. This is my 3rd channel, y'all. Built it from the ground. And I'm so very proud to be sitting up here telling you that I built this channel with a hammer and nail in one hand and the sword of God in the left. Because my message, my word, my voice is powerful. I don't even need no microphone. I learned a very long time that my voice projects. And I know that people across the street can hear me and they're going to receive the word too. There will never ever be a time that I won't come on here and tell the divine, the anointed, the chosen to never ever waver. Don't be scared of some slithering snakes coming in here trying to distract you. Don't be scared of those coming and telling you that you are not worth it. Who told you that? The devil? We're gonna start blessing some holy water around here and just start spraying people in the middle of a conversation when they want to try to come at you and get you off of your truth, of your purpose. Oh, you can't spray. I'm sorry, say that again. Oh, you shouldn't spray. Say that again. Next thing you know, your whole forehead shining because I done tapped that oil on your forehead. Smacked you upside the forehead with my grandma's Bible. Not you scream, listen, tap in. And I know that's why they attack you. I know that's why they try to attack my voice. I know that's why they try to attack my voice because it resonates. Literally, it resonates in your bones. I know my gift. I know my power. And you know yours too. That's why every single time you go into your purpose, that's why every single time you go into your prayers, that's why every single time you start going towards your goals, you start going to grind. Here they come. Just all up in the way. Ain't even brush their teeth in the morning. That's why their teeth dangling by some threads. Snaggle tooth. Ain't even brush their peasy head. Ain't put no grease on. Ain't slick back no edges. They just hopped out of bed. No deodorant. And want to come to you with they funky breath talking about, hey, you can't do that. Like what? That's it. Spray. I'm not playing with y'all. Okay? I'm about sick of them. And my voice is my voice of reason My voice is going to help you repel the freaking demons. That's why I can't go nowhere. That's why I won't go anywhere. Because I know that my voice is going to help you repel the demons. My voice travels. I've been all over this globe. I have yelled for help in the middle of the forest and people have come. I have yelled help in the middle of Bali and people have come and didn't even know the language I was speaking. Tap in. I play no games when it comes to the chosen ones. So when y'all read, when the people in the future read my name in one of these books right here on this thin behind paper, when they come in and they see my name, they going to see Cass Young, the loud ass voice. They going to see Cass Young, scared the demons away by speaking the name of God. Tap in. We don't need no cards for this. Shoot. We don't need none of that. The chosen ones have already spoken. Some people heal with their hands. Some people heal with their heart. Some people go to school to literally go into the healing profession. And while people are surgically operating on those who need the service, I'm spray. And y'all don't even know. My sister tell you right now. Joe, I think he's on the chat right now. I got so many knives and swords. Y'all think I got more swords in the Bible. Y'all think y'all John Wick? No. John Wick can't beat me. As soon as he go to pull something, boom, whole arm off. Boom. Sorry, John. I know they look cute in the movies, but in real life, when we fighting for God, don't none of that work. Tap in. Don't let these demons, don't let these reincarnates of the freaking devil, the minions for Satan, remove you from your God, the source, the one. What they say, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and he shall reign. What they say, forever and ever. That's what they say. I am thankful. Thank you, God, for allowing me to come into my gift. And I thank you, God, for allowing the chosen ones, for the divine ones, for the anointed ones to safely come into theirs. I didn't say without a fight. I didn't say without tribulation. I didn't say without trial. I said to safely come in. I didn't say you didn't have to stomp a few people in the ground. I didn't say you didn't have to nuck if you buck. I didn't say you didn't have to get a few nails fixed because it needed a refill and things just went left when they should have went right. I ain't say that. I said you made it. You made it into your purpose in this era. Because once you've done this era, God said, I got something bigger for you in the next era. What you want? So what these demons want from God? Somebody let me know. I ain't playing with y'all. And you know what's sad? You know what's sad, y'all? Ain't nobody in here perfect. Can't be. Ain't nobody in here perfect. God is so forgiving. God is so forgiving. God is so forgiving. God wants you to have a relationship. And people are so scared to face their own demons that they would run away from a pure relationship with God and go against you to try to prove that they have more power than God. Think about that. Think about the fact that people go against you to try to prove that they can outsmart the will of God. That's crazy. That's crazy. Happy. I'm just like, and I love going live like this because y'all see it in real time. I love it because y'all see it in real time. And I try not to let it distract me, but I gotta block them. Nobody else is here to do that. So sometimes, they catch me a little bit, but yeah, I ain't never gonna slip ever. And you won't either. Because I'm gonna catch you. Boom. Oh, they thought that you was gonna slip and fall? No. No, ain't nobody got time to be paying for what's the thing? I've fallen and I can't, no life alert. That life alert subscription is too much money a darn month. You ain't gonna need it because there's always gonna be a chosen one there to pick you up. Always. And I want you to type a 1 in the chat. If you have ever experienced a devil try to take you off your game, tap in. I want you to type a 1 in the chat if you've ever experienced a devil, one of the devil's minions, look you dead in your third eye and try to get you off of the game that God gave you to start. Now I want you to type a 2 in the chat. If them same devils are now your footstools, tap in, or becoming, in the process of becoming your footstools, we just, boop, thank you. Good luck to you. Just went right on over. Because you could have had a relationship with God just like I got a relationship with God. Look at you now. Look at you now. Now you're hating from outside the club. You can't even get it. Happy. I mean, and sometimes they ain't even functioning. Sometimes y'all just there, rotten feet and all. The termites then bit your feet off the stool. It's an abomination. It's an abomination. So let me just go back to my point because I already feel it stirring up in me to go another 20 minutes just reading these demons for filth. How dare you? How dare you? And you know what's crazy? You know what's even crazier? These demons was born in the filth. Ain't no way they came from a lineage of God purpose, God-led people. Like, how in the world did you end up the way that you end up? Where you just want to attack the anointed. So your mama ain't nothing. Your pappy ain't nothing. And it shows that you were never raised to believe in anything. And that your true purpose is to distract the anointed. Spray. Freaking spray. Now. Oh no, they know. They know what they do. Oh no, see that let's talk about it. They know what they do. Okay? Because there is a point in time in our line of life, right? There's a point in time where at any given time they can hop off the train and say, "Dad, I was really doing the wrong thing. I was really wrong out. Why was I that evil? Oh, I know, trauma and hate and disgust and generational curse, whatever they wanted to put it on, whatever the story is. I mean, they have an opportunity to hop off the train and get that relationship. But friend, they don't want to do that. They still want to ride that funky train to come around and attack you. They know. They know. Let me go back to my point. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, shout out to the people I've never seen in this chat before. Hey, I love you. Thank you. Now, when I was reading Nehemiah, I'm gonna land my plane a little bit. Hey, Miss D, Miss Brown. When I look at this, and I'm in Nehemiah, what's this? Nehemiah 2, verse 6. And it says, then the king with the queen sitting beside him. So it's both of them. They asked Nehemiah, how long will your journey take and when will you get back? And it pleased the king to send him on his way. So he asking, how much time? How much time? Y'all, sometimes, and think about it, he built an entire wall. He built the entire wall. And sometimes for us, y'all, we don't know how much time. We could say in 6 months we want to have this done, and it take a year. We could say we want something done next week, and it could take a month. I want you to understand that's the way it's supposed to be sometimes. When you build something that is sturdy, when you build something that won't knock down when you blow it on some Three Little Pigs-ish. When you take the time to invest in your craft, in your crown, in your purpose, it takes a long time. It takes a while. You often hear people who blew up, who seem like they blew up overnight. You often hear them say it took me 20 years to blow up overnight because that grind got to go into it. So when people ask you, when your mom, when your dad, when your cousins, when your aunties, when people that love you ask, well, how much time is it going to take? Listen, don't worry about it. I got safe passage. I was blessed by the king to do this. I got the tools that I need in the safe passageway. Took what, 20, was it 20 years, I think? It's nothing. You want to wake up and everything be done tomorrow. That's what the devil wants you to have. They don't want you to have that journey. That's why we can sit up here as old heads, as the aunties, the unks. Okay, some of y'all the grandmas and grandpas, some of y'all the pop-pops at this point, and the grandmas. And we can look at these kids today and be like, they will have no idea what it's like to put a CD in a computer and have and wait for the internet to come up. I got it easy. Y'all have no idea what it's like for TV to just go off. I got it easy. You have no idea what it's like to read because everything online. You have no idea what it's like to actually work in a way that your hands have the memory of what it feels like to get a paper cut. Where your body has the memory of what it's like to be sore. I'm telling you, when people ask you how much time, you tell them, look, do you want to help? You want to come and help? Watch they turn around real fast. Like they don't even know you. Like you a stranger in the street. Help, what? That's too much. You asked for too much. Okay, good luck to you. Okay, I'll call you later on. Tap in. That's what they say. You want divine time. And what you building, it ain't going to be rushed. And nobody can rush you. And they bet not. And if God tells you to hurry up, He's going to give you the tools to hurry up. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. I'm trying to tell you. I really, really, really thank God for putting this message on my heart. And I was telling my sister when I read the passage, I was telling her, I said, girl, I'm so frustrated, all these names and this. I don't want to read all these names, but I had to. It's like when you go to, when I go to the World War II walls, or the Vietnam War memorial walls, or when I go to any place like the 9/11 memorial, when I go there, now I'm reading the names of the people who lost their lives because it means something. I'm looking at the people who joined a military, not even fully understanding what the purpose of that was about. And they got documented because of the sacrifice that they made for the greater good. Okay. I'm not going to air my grievances out about the military right now. Okay? Tap in. But shout out to all of my veterans, all of those who are currently serving. My heart is with you. I understand. Don't forget that the VA is a system, the government is a system, and sometimes you got to use your voice to get them in line. Okay? All right. Do not let me forget, as a matter of fact, as I connect with my veterans here, to put the 1-800 number down to Washington, D.C. That's just a side note. When I go back and watch this, I'll be able to remember. Before I dip up out of here, not my number one. Oh Lord. Okay. That's real interesting. Well, if that is true, then shout out to him. And if not, shame on you for the lie. Before I get up out of here, let me say this. You came into an awakening, the spiritual awakening, right? And I know that Instagram glamorizes, they romanticize the spiritual awakening. Oh my God, I had a spiritual awakening where I woke up and it was spiritual. And then I made some iced coffee. And then I got into my car and I drove down the street and I felt good about my day. And that's the video, right? No. This awakening that you are having, that you had, that you're stepping into. It almost happens. Sometimes spiritual awakenings happen all at once in different places. But what you are stepping into is an awakening of your purpose. And once you actualize it, once you realize it, once you dig into it, once you find out that your purpose literally moves mountains and that you truly have the power to anoint people, to bless people, to love on people, to build things, to fix things, to heal things, people, animals, the planet, help people find housing. So many people with phenomenal resources. One of my awakenings was finding out that I do well with people during the end of their lives. One of my many purposes, I don't know. But when you find yours, when you find your cloud, you stand 10 toes down in it. You don't let somebody talk you out of your purpose. You don't let nobody talk you out of your greatness. Ever. 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 And I love that you continue to recognize, even when you go off the beaten path and you over here with it when you should have been here with it. And sometimes you over here with it when you should have been here with it. And sometimes it feels like you on a skateboard and you trying to balance it out. Don't ever forget that you still standing. Even when the wind blow you this way, even when the wind blow you that way, you still standing. Step in. You ain't holding on to no pole. So I'm like, oh no, you still standing. That's what I'm saying. And as long as you still standing, I'm still standing. As long as we still standing, they still standing. As long as they still standing, can't nobody ever go against it. Tap in. That's the bottom line. because Cass Young says so. And with that, I'm giving 1 minute for anybody to drop a question, drop a comment, drop a heart, drop a crown, drop an understanding, drop a lemonade in the chat. I just feel like talking to y'all just one more before I dip up out of here. Now I feel so good after speaking with y'all. I feel so good tapping in with y'all. I'm gonna go kiss my ice cream. Tap in. Just a little bit, just a little scoop. I know I'm still watching my weight. I'm 17 pounds down, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. Man, I love hanging out with you guys. I love talking to the Anointed. Oh my gosh. It just feels so good. Some of y'all been asking my braids are coming back. My purple and gray braids, they coming back, y'all. They coming back. I love you guys so much. If y'all have nothing else, I will see you guys on the next one. I want you to remember to hold your crown. Even when it gets a little windy, you just make sure that crown stay there. Okay? I name myself Cass Young Crown because I understand the weight that comes with holding the crown, putting it on, stepping into your purpose, making a statement. This crown frequency, it is your frequency. I can't step into your crown, and you cannot step into mine. It holds our own power. That's why the crown frequency is so imperative. It is your frequency. Nobody can hijack it. Nobody can tap into it. It is yours. That's why you are crowned. I love you guys so much. To the next one. Bye. I'm gonna learn to make a crown. What is this, a good crown? I don't know. I'm gonna find a crown hand gesture, okay? Love you. Bye, y'all.